Live from Carborough, it's the Chris or Jenny Show featuring Grateful Dave on WCOM LP, Chapel Hill, and Carborough.
Good evening, friends. Good evening, Grateful Dave.
Good evening. How are you?
It's good to see you back on the show.
It's good to be back, man. It's been a while.
What a freaking guest we have tonight.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm such a big fan. This is a huge surprise and a great honor. I'm thrilled.
So you did the Chris or Jenny show a little while back. We had Edwin Porres Jr. on. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Filmmaker.
That was probably 6 months ago or more.
No, that was about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while.
I was going to say, you must have had a great time because we haven't seen you in 2 years. Jonathan Byrd is sitting back in the green room, enjoying the comforts of WCLM. So let's get him out. He's probably enjoying snacks.
Yeah, I'll go get him.
Yeah, go get him. Jonathan, whenever you're ready. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Chris.
It's good to have you here live in the studio. Have you ever been in this studio before?
I've been in this studio before, but it was very unlike this. There's been a lot of changes.
Was it when it was Piggly Wiggly?
No, it was not Piggly Wiggly.
Was it a bank?
But I don't remember that.
It could have been in the old studio, huh?
Glass. I remember being like over there, and there was another wall here, another room back here.
What's happening?
It's Instagram Live. I'm just like letting people watch me do this live while they listen on the
So
radio.
we are on low power FM.
Low power FM.
100 watts of FM.
100 watts FM, and he is on instant telegram, is what I call it.
Globally, yeah.
That's the world we live in today, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're pumped. Cool. Jonathan Byrd, singer, songwriter.
Legend.
Perhaps one of the best songwriters of our generation. From Fayetteville, North Carolina?
From Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where I was born. I was born on Friday the 13th, November 1970.
Nice.
Cape Fear Valley Hospital in Fayetteville.
Good Lord, I love that jacket. Make sure we get a picture of that.
I got this in Bristol, Tennessee at the Bristol Rhythm and Roots Reunion, which is a great festival.
Oh, very cool.
Where I'm playing again this year in September.
Again, Jonathan, welcome, man. We're pumped that you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Your Song Minor project seems very interesting. So it's like a songwriter a boot camp, if you will, or tell me about the Song Minor project.
I'm a teacher, and when I started playing as a songwriter, as a solo artist, I realized there were a lot of people who were just into songs, and they came there just to tune in to what was going on with the writing of the song. And I'd never really considered that before. I grew up in the South. There's a great music scene here, but there's not a big songwriting culture of people celebrating songwriters like the way they would in Texas, for instance. Like Texas has this huge songwriting culture.
Yeah.
So I discovered that people were really interested in songwriting, and other people wanted to learn how to write songs. I've been invited to do workshops. And
I want to learn how to write songs.
I've been invited to teach at festivals and stuff like
Very
that.
cool.
And I kind of put the best of that together as far as what I thought was the best of that and developed a course where I make people write songs.
Yeah.
So people who don't even play instruments sometimes will take this course and they'll write a song by the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
They work in a group, they get one-on-one time with the teacher. And now I'm doing something with SongMiner where, like if you take a math class, the math teacher does math on the board in front of you.
Right.
They show you how to do it by doing it.
And in my case, you might take that class multiple times.
Sure, but hey, obviously,
I flunked, but it was the
whatever
teacher's
math you
fault.
had is working for you. Writing teachers don't write in front of you because just writing is just a different kind of process. It's an intimate process. It's like there's some soul searching, there's research,
Some
there's
gnashing
all
of
this
teeth,
stuff.
perhaps. And
But I started
Yeah.
filming myself, and I'm doing live streaming and stuff like that. And I thought I can just film myself writing and then condense sort of a mini documentary. I bet I can get like a 20-minute version of just the most important decisions that I made while writing that song and show people my process of writing so that they can witness it, witness it as it happens almost.
Yeah. And then do you work with them?
Well, what I do is I write one of these songs and I produce it and I release the single on the same day with the video that shows me writing the song. And the last one I did with a co-writer, Abby Gardner, we started on Zoom. She lives in New Jersey. I live here.
How cool is
And then
that?
there was this whole relationship in the writing of the song, which was
nice.
cool
You do the whole
too.
thing in one day.
We got most of it done in one day.
Okay.
That's what usually happens. Then it
Okay.
takes a few weeks of kind of going back and forth
I'm
and
sure,
phone
yeah.
calling and I mean a single word.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely like talk for 30 minutes about a single word in the
Right.
song.
That's a Zoom meeting you actually want to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, and I just wrote with Tim O'Brien this last week, and I'm writing
Oh,
with
nice.
Missy Raines next week, and so I'm writing with some really cool
Beautiful.
people.
Yeah, those are two of my
And
favorites
hopefully
as
those
well.
people can be teachers with me as well. Like Jess Klein, who lives in Hillsborough, fantastic singer-songwriter. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Jess Klein. If you're not, you should be.
Well, let's get her on my show, Dave.
I
She's
don't know.
amazing. So she taught last time with me.
Nice.
That was the first time I had multiple teachers, but it's great to have different perspectives,
Yeah.
different teachers. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that, Jonathan?
I started about 4 years ago. So it was very helpful when the pandemic hit and we couldn't play a lot of live shows. I had been live streaming and I'd been teaching on Zoom. But suddenly,
But you started it pre-pandemic.
Yeah, oh yeah. But by like May of 2020, everybody knew how to use Zoom. I didn't have to teach people how to use Zoom anymore.
Yeah,
which
I
used
know,
to be
right?
the first 20 minutes of the
Everybody
class.
knows now.
Yeah.
Do the first 5 minutes of the thing go like this? Hey, you're on mute. Hey, is this
Oh,
thing
yeah.
on?
That
Hey.
happens to everybody.
That's the name of my first song. Hey, I'm on mute.
But I'm recording, I'm writing, I'm producing, I'm
Yeah.
releasing music, and I'm filming my process while I do it to inspire and motivate.
That is
And educate
fantastic.
other
Beautiful,
people
yeah.
who want to learn how to do it.
And he made a point on his website that it's an affordable alternative. How do you do that? Like,
Yeah, so I started because I realized that people would fly, let's say, to Texas or to Nova Scotia for an in-person songwriting retreat. By the time the plane tickets and the whatever, it's a couple $1,000s to do one of these things.
Right.
I thought, well, how much fun is that? But if you don't have that kind of money, but you want to learn how to do it, I could just do this on Zoom. And people could pay a couple $100s and pay me well for my weekend. And I can do the same thing that I do, at this beautiful place in Texas you got to fly to and get your hotel room. And
Right.
Really
pay for your
lower the
food and all
barrier
that
there,
stuff. I want to have some in-person songwriting retreats, maybe one a year
Yeah.
as well. But I think mostly I just want to teach people online so more people can access it.
There's probably a lot of wonderful songwriters out there that
I bet
don't
there
have
are,
a
yeah.
grand in their
don't
pocket.
don't even know where to start. To write a song either.
Yeah, that's the great thing. Too. So when we're doing the weekly live stream from the Kraken, I was able to hire guest artists and pay them. And now I'm able to have guest teachers
Right.
and
Okay.
provide other artists with income as well.
Thank you for bringing up the Kraken.
Yeah, man.
One of the greatest bars. So do you live in Carborough?
I live out beyond White Cross.
Oh, yeah. So near the Kraken.
It's like Bingham Township, I guess is what you'd call that area out there.
And you
But-
took up residence at the Kraken?
Yeah, I did.
or-
So January of 2018, we started playing every Wednesday. It was January 10th, 2018 was the first Wednesday night. And we played just about every week since then until the last show was at the end of November. And we knew we were going to take the winter off.
Yeah, of
because
course.
things were getting tough again.
Yeah.
Although we kept going last winter, we were able to keep going. And then I just broke the band up, and because I needed to get creative, I needed to reshape,
We need to talk about
What I
that.
do.
We're going to dig a
about
little bit deeper into that.
which is what I'm doing now, and
Yeah.
I'm a lot freer to do different things
Yeah.
now that I needed to be doing. So I love those guys, and I miss playing with the band. I actually stopped in the Kraken this week.
Kirk and Jody, man. Have you ever
I-
seen them at the Kraken?
I have never been in the Kraken.
You
believe
and
it or
I
not.
were supposed to
Yeah.
meet one night
Yeah.
when Tan and Sober was playing.
That's right. Yeah.
I was there and you were there, but we never quite met up, I think. They did a nice job of adjusting to the pandemic and putting their stage outside. Folks who live around here or are visiting around here, if you haven't been to the Kraken.
No, that day I went, and the only place I could stand that it wasn't just cheek to jowl was across the road.
Yeah.
It was literally packed, right? It was like the first day open after the pandemic. It was since the pandemic.
Yeah, and I listened to Jonathan doing an interview talking about the Kraken. Like, I mean, it's a safety hazard. I mean, if they get a big crowd, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a little scary sometimes.
Oh my gosh!
But they don't pack it in. I mean, they haven't packed it inside like that for a long time.
Right, but the first outside concert there, I had just had Ben from Tan and Sober on my show. It was like the first big Kraken show on the outdoor stage. And my goodness, I mean, it was crazy. It was so exciting and so fun. And I had a poster for him to sign.
That was the day. Yeah, we couldn't get anywhere near it. You know?
Oh, it was so much fun, but it's a 2-lane road with people going fast. What a great venue, though, and Kirk and Jody are great people.
It's like going to an island.
It is.
It's like you change time zones or something.
But here's what's crazy. It's not that far from Carborough.
No,
it's
not.
a couple of miles.
Yeah,
That's the
but
great
it's
thing about
probably
it.
a world away.
But a world away.
Yeah, it's a real roadhouse, but it's not that far to get to it.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing about playing there is that farmers were there and college professors were there and students were there.
Students,
and
Everybody,
everybody was there.
People like me.
Yeah.
People like Grateful Dave.
Yeah. Well, not me because I've never actually made it inside. I've seen you like half a dozen times, but never there during your residency. Always wanting to and just never quite did it, you know?
Yeah, good times.
That's great. Well, we're so glad. So, okay, White Cross. All right, man. So this is, have you ever played Catch Cradle?
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say,
I
have to have.
think I've played just about every room.
Just about every room.
Yeah.
Local 506?
Oh, yeah.
The station?
I haven't played there in a long time since I had like a rock band. Which I haven't had in a long
I'm glad you said you have played 506 because I got a 506 T-shirt for you as a
I know
souvenir.
you played the
for
ballroom
being-
because that was the first place I saw you
time.
play.
I played the ballroom a few
When was
times.
that, Dave?
That was I don't know, probably 5 years or 6 years ago. You were there with the Ducks.
Yeah, I was there with the Ducks. I was there with Donna the Buffalo, and then we did our CD release party there.
Donald the Buffalo, who's going to be
that'd
at
be a good
the Shikori Hills
They
Festival.
were so good to us. They were so cool.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
nice place.
Grateful Dave brought up the Hall River Ballroom. So I'm just going to have a musician settle the score right now.
Uh-oh.
In my opinion,
This is why I came here.
this is why you're here, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm glad you shut down Twitter or whatever you were on earlier. The best sounding venue around here. Mad respect to the Cradle and 506 and the station, but the Hall River Ballroom is probably the cleanest sound.
Yeah.
Am I right, Jonathan?
They invested
Byrd.
a lot of money getting that way.
Like if you drop a pin, people will hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great sounding venue.
So I'm not crazy. That's a fair.
No, that's a real thing. I mean, and they call Wes Show. I don't know if you know Wes Show, but he's a fantastic local guy who builds and rebuilds studios for a living.
Oh,
That's
he
what
did a
does.
studio, Wes. Okay.
And they consulted with him, and he gave them some really simple, very effective things that they could do
Yeah.
to clean up the sound in there.
It is
And
clean.
I don't know, I think a lot of venues, it's hard to spend that much money doing that stuff because
Yeah.
it's just the music biz. There's not tons of money in it.
Right.
Right.
But somebody decided to put the money in it. For
Yeah,
that
they did.
room.
I mean, you can see the
Yeah.
acoustic panels and stuff on the brick and some of that. I'm sure there's stuff you can't see too. Right?
It's a beautiful visual and
It
a
is,
beautiful
yeah.
sound.
And it
What
does.
you-
It sounds great in there.
Yeah.
What is a little deceiving is you can get 900 people in there.
Wow. I would have
Yeah.
guessed maybe a third
I would
of
have
that.
guessed.
Yeah.
I would have guessed 400 or 500.
Yeah, 3 or 4 hours.
Because the Cat's Cradle front room is 550, 650, 7. I don't know.
It
but-
still sounds great.
Yeah.
It still feels great.
Mm-hmm.
well, I learned there's actually 3 levels. There's a main floor and then a second
Mm-hmm.
balcony and then a third balcony. So no one disagrees with me that the Hall River Ballroom is the best sound around here.
Well, outside of the North Carolina Symphony in Raleigh, let's say
Well,
that.
yeah, the symphony and maybe the Carolina Theater. Yeah.
All right. I don't think Frank from the Cradle's listening, so don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Our relationship with Frank is safe. Don't
Well,
worry.
Frank works with the ballroom a lot.
No, I know.
So,
Yeah.
Who's coming there? Langhorne Slim, Kurt Vile's coming there. You've got some good shows coming up that we got to talk about. But.
Yeah, I've got some shows. I've got a show in Saluda, North Carolina, out west, March 31st.
Nice.
May 7th, Mystic Distillery.
Okay, that's a nice place.
That's a
yeah.
cool place.
Yep, Jess
Yeah.
Klein's going to play bass with me on that gig.
Nice.
I know. It's
Very cool.
Cool.
Oh, and Deshaun Hickman is coming to play pedal steel.
Oh, nice.
He's from Winston. He's awesome. I met him. I just did the Martha Bassett show in Elkin, North Carolina, and he was in the house band. I was just like, from the first note, I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing
Somebody
this
that
summer?
can play pedal steel.
Is
yeah.
it amazing
kids.
how many talented people are just in every nook and cranny?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
North
mean?
Carolina is amazing that way, too.
It's full
Like,
of musical talent, yeah. And
I
stuff.
think North Carolina doesn't get enough of a rep, really, for
Yeah,
how much.
I had no idea before I moved here. You know,
Yeah.
just how deep the roots are. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, knew some of them. You know,
Right.
You know, Libba, and I know some of the blues guys and stuff. But yeah, jazz guys. But
Yeah.
no idea.
It
Yeah.
blew
I mean, I
my-
grew up in Wyoming, and there's nobody that plays music there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wyoming, yeah.
And I grew up in West Virginia. We're the two rural state folks.
Yeah, West
That's
Virginia's
right.
pretty thick with music.
Oh, it is. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
It's a great
People
state.
make their own fun.
Some event must have let out either at the Art Center or the Catch Cradle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan, that's the funniest thing about doing this show this time of night is either the Catch Cradle or the Art Center always has people
Yeah.
spilling onto the patio.
Good times.
Fog on the Mountain. Here we go, baby.
There's fog on the mountain, don't go, don't go. Even an echo can't find its way home. A man might disappear, you best stay clear when there's fog on the mountain. Up there on a clear day, just maybe you've seen a trail through the laurel on down to the spring. And though you may be drawn, you best move on when there's fog on the mountain. Can you hear me? I gave my life to that old mountain mist. I reached for the high ground, it slipped through my fist. Pride was my mistake. I lost my place in that fog on the mountain. Now blood and whiskey flow over the dam. Nobody knows like a low country man. The devil's diamond dew will swallow you in that fog on the mountain. Can you hear? Can you see? Can you hear me?
Yeah, baby. Fog on the Mountain. I want to say hello to our friends in Burien, Washington who are listening tonight, Grateful Dave.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Washington State?
Washington State. Yeah, I was there last summer.
Have you been to Burien?
I have not.
Did you fly into Washington?
No, I drove.
Because the airport's in Burien.
Oh, okay.
So you weren't there?
No, I wasn't there. No, wait, I thought the airport was in Seattle.
No, I think it's in Burien. I don't know, Dave. I don't know where anything is. But hello to our friends in Burien. Jonathan, that was an awesome song, and that was part of the Song Miner Project?
That was the second single of the Song Miner Project.
Who did you write that with?
Abby Gardner. She's in a great band called Red Molly, and she tours by herself as well. She's
Oh,
out
those
of,
looks are great, yeah.
New Jersey.
Abby Gardner.
Abby Gardner.
We got to go see Abby Gardner in concert.
Definitely. Go
Yes.
see Red Molly if they come touring as Red Molly, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're so great. She's a great dobro player, and I've written songs with her that they've recorded before. So she was the first co-write on the Song Miner Project.
Jonathan, you had
cool.
a kind of public breakup with the Pickup Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that a little bit. I learned about you again. Oh, let me back up. Where I first learned about you, a friend of mine, Mark Sod, and his brother Steven Sod in downtown Raleigh, and they had you for a show during the pandemic. Does that ring a bell? In Raleigh, you played
Oh,
kind
yes.
Mark Sod.
Oh, that was so much fun. Yes, of course.
Like height of the pandemic.
Yep.
That's when I first learned about you.
Yeah, we were on the back porch. Our friend Spencer Scholes came with us and helped us run sound.
So Mark has been my buddy for a while. Very impressive young man. I really admire him. And
That whole group of people that we met that night, they're all awesome.
So now Jonathan Byrd's in my mind, and then Grateful Dave's like, oh man, he's awesome. So that's how I first heard about you. Fast forward, I hear about this breakup of your band, and it was kind of big news. So give us the scoop on that.
Yeah, well, we went through a lot together. We went through the pandemic together. We never stopped live streaming in one way or the other every weekend, or every week rather, on Wednesday. But we just had different goals, I think.
How long had the Pickup Cowboys been together?
We had been together, well, with Austin. I mean, the thing is, we had Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys with Johnny Waken and Paul Ford playing the cello. And Paul Ford passed away of brain cancer a few years ago.
Rest in peace, Paul Ford.
And Johnny and I were kind of lost as to what to do.
Right.
Yeah. That's when I looked into the residency, just a local place that we could play every week.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be a big deal. And then Johnny called Austin McCall to play drums with us. He's like, well, I'm playing like a roadhouse. Let's have a drummer.
Yeah.
And so then that became Jonathan Byrd and the Pickup Cowboys. So in that iteration, we played we played for 3 years, basically, every week.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. No, I remember the cello player. That was a nice sound.
Oh,
I missed it when he turned ill
Paul
and
was so
stepped
great.
down.
Yeah, just always had a big old goofy grin on his face, and he always made you feel like you were the coolest person in the room. That was his talent.
Nice. That's a nice talent to have, isn't it?
Nobody ever makes me feel that way, Dave.
Wish I could get Paul back right now.
Do you ever get mistaken with Jonathan Byrd, the golfer?
No, I mean, except maybe in a Google search, but no.
There is a professional golfer named Jonathan
But
Byrd.
there's a John Byrd, and it's Jon, just like the beginning of my name, in Nashville, and he is also a songwriter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we actually played a show together at the Family Wash in Nashville, just to mess with everybody.
How fun is
Yeah,
that?
why not? The Birds.
Exactly.
BYRD?
BYRD.
Not Larry,
Same
BIRD.
Same spelling and everything.
Oh my gosh, I love it. The Carborough Music Festival was postponed this year, I think for pandemic reasons. But let's talk about the notion of, a small town like Carborough has a music festival. On the one hand of it, you've got professional musicians who are feeding their family playing music, like you. A discussion kind of generated online.
Oh, yeah.
And you were part of it.
Oh, yeah.
About, here's the Carborough Music Festival. You've got all these bands, and they should be paid. And it's hard to argue that, especially Grateful Dave and I. We love bands. We love live music. It's important. We agree.
We spend money on it, yeah.
We spend money on it. We go to
Gladly.
concerts. We buy T-shirts. But the other side of that is the town. I don't think the town is making money, but your point was, let's dig into that a little bit. The notion of a music festival where the bands don't get paid. It's not fair, but give me your 2 cents on that.
It sets a bad precedent. And there's so many great musicians here. Like this area, if you can't find something cool happening within 30 minutes of where you live, like you're not
looking very hard, yeah.
Like there's just great music everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think the richness of that can only be supported by larger organizations, clubs, the town, people being accountable for paying those people. It doesn't have to be, you could just say $100.
A stipend.
Something.
Almost.
Yeah,
To
token of appreciation, if
please
nothing else,
come
yeah.
and be an artist with us, and we can pay everybody this much.
Well, clearly, the town gets a lot of benefit from it. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the musicians.
Yeah, and
the festival would not be
they
here.
argue back and forth about how much the town makes. Or if,
I don't think the town
they pay the festival director.
Yeah.
They pay the sound guys.
Yeah.
They pay the porta potty guys.
They pay the electric bill.
But not the
And
bands.
musicians are
The
working.
talent.
Now, I understand there's also
Without
stages,
which there would be no event.
there's also stages where like the high school musicians play, or the town old time players, or the blues guys who work day jobs. They want to play a show or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's different levels of things happening, and that can be worked out too. But for me, it's been here for almost 30 years,
Long time,
25
yeah.
years at least, and nobody's ever addressed that, and it just drives me crazy.
So okay, first off, do you find that specific to the Carborough Music Festival that no
yeah.
band gets paid?
Oh yeah.
You're telling me that
You go to Graham and get paid to play music.
you're
by
telling
the
me,
way.
but let's pick another festival. So Floyd Fest, every band gets paid.
As far as I know.
Eno, that's
Fest.
another one where I can see maybe.
That is a benefit, but every time that I played it, I got paid a little something. We didn't get paid a lot, but
What
we got
about like
paid a
first
stipend,
night?
like you
What
said.
about like that? Stuff
First
like
night in Raleigh?
that?
Oh, yeah, I got paid really
So it
well.
sounds like most events there's at least something for the band is
Oh, yeah.
is what you're saying. So specific to Carbro. And I don't think
we're the
it's
exception.
I don't think it's that Carbro's making money necessarily, but he makes a great point, the sound guy, the
Yeah.
porta potty guy,
They're
the
spending-
Well,
security.
and people come here for the music, and they
Yeah.
eat at restaurants, and they shop at other
Oh,
stores.
I think that was
you
your
know?
point. The restaurants make money, the bars make money.
It may
The
be hard
band
to
should make
quantify how much money
something.
comes into the
let's just do
town,
something.
but
What about we raise $10,000? We call it 100 for 100. 100 musicians get paid $100. You put $10,000 out into the
It
artistic
seems so simple.
community
Yeah.
on that weekend.
Well, I will tell you, you inspired us because we are having an event Saturday, April 23rd. And I don't think we're at the level where we can bring in Jonathan Byrd. You're our goal,
Yeah.
brother. You're going to
we,
be. You're
we
gonna,
aspire to Jonathan Byrd.
You're going to be on our lineup eventually.
but we are going to pay our talent.
My daughter is 8. Dave's kids are in their 30s.
Yeah.
And then me and Dave. I try to have an event where all 4 age groups would enjoy themselves. And we came up with the Friends and Family Festival fundraiser, or the very first meeting we had about this is like, listen, I don't know how much we can pay, but we're paying the acts something. And it was because of you, because we want to.
Yeah, you were adamant about that.
We
Yeah.
agreed. I said
Yeah.
day one, I said, Donald, I think we can make some money. I think we can have a nice event. It's in Carborough. People are going to show up. It's like what you're talking about. It's like we guaranteed every band like $100.
Yeah.
And if we make a lot, we'll pay the band a lot
Yeah.
more. You know what I mean? It's a percentage basis.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, you take Carborough and then take the Carborough music out. I'm trying to see it from both sides. Like it's I don't know, man. Like you don't want to lose the Carborough Music Festival, but I agree that the talent should be paid. This is why I'm not a politician, Dave.
Yeah, and to Jonathan's point, I mean, there's a difference between professional talent and no names
Yeah.
and stuff.
So what would you do?
Me
Like
just
a-
trying to learn the washboard. You
Yeah.
know,
So
and
if it's like
expecting somebody to
like a
come.
high school cover band, that might be one tier, and then a professional musician might be a different tier. Or what do you?
Sure, and they have different things like the high schools coordinate to bring in the band to play and to give those kids an experience like
Yeah, and they've got
whatever
a crew of volunteer
experience that you
parents
had
and stuff that help
high
out with all of that.
And,
And,
but
yeah.
all that can be discussed. I'm saying there's been no discussion, and
Yeah.
there's been nobody who's been willing to discuss how that might work. But the festival director, I mean, you can go on the website and look up how much people get paid. The festival director got paid $4,000,
Yeah.
and the musicians didn't even get $100 a piece.
By cutting that in half, you could give 20 bands $100.
I'm saying, yeah.
Well, okay, when they reach out to you, though, I got to assume that you're a headliner level. What's the interaction? Hey, Jonathan, please come play our event free?
Yeah, I said, well, what's your budget? And they said, we're not paying. I was like, are you kidding me?
It's that cut and
Yeah.
dry?
They asked me if I would work it, and I was like, how much are you paying? And we're not paying anything. It's like, wow, 25 years ago you weren't paying anything.
That's
You're still not
crazy.
paying
Dave, I love
That's really
Carborough,
crazy.
but we got
That's what I'm saying. There's $10,000 like in
We
the
need
couch
the mayor on the
cushions of this
show
town.
I had Damon Sales. Damon, if you're listening, I had the current mayor and the former mayor, and I should have busted their chops about the
You
Carborough
should have,
Music
yeah.
Festival.
Yeah.
Dave,
You gotta have him back, man.
I was easy on him.
There you go.
But I would love to do it. Like, and I would do it as a part of that community spirit. Like $100 is nothing for a
You're
gig.
not a
wouldn't
greedy.
take
I'm
any
looking
gig
at
for
you. You're not
$100.
a greedy. You're saying a little check, a little
Yeah.
something.
I wouldn't play a bar in Greensboro for $100. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do much for $100.
Yeah.
But I would come here and be a part of this community if
Yeah.
I was offered something for my time. If I was just given some respect for my time.
He's not wrong, Grateful Dave.
He's not wrong. No.
Yeah. The music director gets $4,000. Cut that in half and give that $2,000. to
Yeah.
the-
And when I went public about this, the thing that I learned is that the fans didn't know that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who were just music fans were like, "Oh, I had no idea."
I was going to ask you, what was your response? And that was it.
And and people were surprised that Carborough didn't pay anything, and that and I realized that there wasn't that discussion with the citizenry, with the festival goers either. They didn't know.
Yeah, I
that
think
was
if people
happening.
knew that would change the
And some-
perception.
there might be a
completely.
tip bucket out there, or whatever.
Yeah, somebody
there's
carrying a
actually couple
swan
of
around or
venues.
something, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember. There's a couple of venues that actually pay the bands because they play that venue.
I always wondered why it was on Sunday. And I think I figured out why is because you've got to close all those businesses
Right.
to have
Right.
the thing. And it was postponed this year. I assume COVID, but maybe not. Maybe more bands are. Do you have an official reason as to why it did not happen in 2020?
Yeah, it was too complicated with COVID. It was too complicated to figure out
Yeah.
indoor
that's
and outdoor
understandable.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk to Mayor Damon Sales. Good guy. I think he'll listen, Dave.
They're reasonable people. That's why I don't understand this. It seems like they've really got a chip on their shoulder about this.
Well,
one,
maybe maybe not enough Jonathan Byrds have stepped up.
Maybe that's the case, and the public doesn't know.
Yeah,
so
and honestly, it's always musicians who are willing to sell each other out. And we've all done it. We've all taken that gig for less than we should have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're really displacing somebody. Especially if you're going to another town, you're displacing a local musician who might have needed that bar gig or whatever. But we all have to be good to each other and not play the bar for nothing. Ask them for something and make sure that they know that musicians, whoever they are, they're worth something.
Let's do another song. Let's give them A Big Truck Brought It. This is a big hit of yours.
That's a
it
fun
is.
song,
And I got to say, a lot of people think I wrote this song. I wish I'd written this song. This song was written by Rob Varmeyer in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Just want to clear that up.
Rob Varmeyer. Here we go.
Keep your Kenworth running strong for regional bulk, hauling logs. Air suspension gives a nice soft ride. The fairing's got a toolbox inside. Piano hinge doors stay quiet and square, and that huck-bolted cab ain't going nowhere. It's 600 horses charging straight and true, and it's aerodynamic to save you fuel. If you got it, a big truck brought it. If you want it, there's a big truck on it. Said if you got it, big truck brought it. If you want it, there's a big truck on it. Picture a semi in your mind, flat nose grill, red oval sign. The classic looking semi, it was defined by the Peterbilt, the 389. The new model's got a slope grilled hood that lets you see the road real good. You like that? Well, that's just fine. But me, I drive a 389. If you got it, a big truck brought it. If you want it, there's a big truck on it. If you got it, a big truck brought it. If you want it, there's a big truck on it. Air braking haulers go by many names. They're all a little different, but one thing's the same. Whether Sterling, Mack, or Western Star, a big rig brought it to where you are. If it's Freightliner, Eagle, Volvo, or Ford, Playboy, mud flaps, or baby on board, hauling solid gold or a load of manure, a big truck brought it, you can be sure. If you got it, a big truck brought it. If you want it, there's a big truck on it. But if you got it, big truck brought it. If you want it, there's a big truck on it. Said if you want it, there's a big truck on it.
The WCOM Friends and Family Fiesta fundraiser is Saturday, April 23rd at Carborough Town Commons.
The fun starts at 2 p.m. with games, activities, and live music.
Kids Zoo's going to be there, and the Carolina Songbirds.
Ooh.
Karen K, too.
Karen K?
See you soon at the WCOM Friends and Family Fiesta fundraiser.
Everyone is welcome.
Woo! By the way, folks, I've got a lot of complaints that we didn't say the phone number. The phone number's been the same for 35 years, Dave. They should know by now. It's 919-246-9639. I got Jonathan Byrd in the studio, and we do have a call. WCOM, who do we got?
Hello, Chris. My name is Tucklebucket. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm a big fan of Jonathan Byrd, and I'd like to say I've heard tell that he's an educator as well as an artist. I do wish to hear something about what he does to educate others in the art of songwriting.
Well, we welcome you, Taco Bot. I have no idea who this is. Do you want to take that one?
Tucklebucket. Tucklebucket. Great.
So, Mr. Bucket, I appreciate you calling in.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
I document myself writing so that I can show people what my process actually is, because often when I'm in the zone, I don't know what I'm doing. And people ask me later, like, how did you write that? Or what made you choose this word over that word? I don't remember.
Come on.
The other thing that I do is...
Jonathan, what rhymes with tucklebucket?
Tucklebucket.
We're going to write a song right now, Mr.
Is this a
Tucklebucket.
limerick?
It might be. I don't know.
And
What's
so
to a
when-
man from
When
tucklebucket?
people join a weekend, when people
I
join
demand a co-write.
Tucklebucket, credit.
He's demanding a co-write. I don't know.
Are you going to headline the Carborough Music Festival in
I don't know what
2023, Taco Bucket?
Only if they pay. Let's be realistic, fellows.
No, but he is right. Musicians need to be paid. Please, go ahead.
Would you, the last person I wrote with was Tim O'Brien, who is also from West Virginia, Chris.
Ah,
yes.
Tim O'Brien.
Okay.
Almost Heaven. You know the song my mom and I danced to at my wedding?
What's that?
Country Roads.
Of course.
Take me home.
Of course.
Country Roads. Please,
so
go
West
ahead. Jonathan Byrd, ladies
So
and
the
gentlemen.
Songwriters Weekend, people join on a Friday night, and we begin writing exercises right away. We all meet each other, and we begin writing right away. And we find everyone a prompt, something to write about, something that's on their mind, something that they find during the writing exercises. Then we do a mini concert, and we talk about the songs that they may already be familiar with if they're fans of mine or fans of Jess Klein's, who taught with me last time.
Jess Klein.
And we'll discuss those songs and what they think is great about them and how we wrote them maybe, or different perspectives on those songs. And then we begin again on Saturday morning with a little bit of teaching and some more writing. We do one-on-one sessions, means every student gets 30 minutes, one-on-one with the teacher to address whatever the biggest problem is, the biggest struggle they're having, the biggest thing that's on their mind about the writing. And then everybody else is writing while people are having their one-on-ones. And then Saturday evening, people present what they have. If they have a chorus, if they have a whole lyric that they've written with no music, or they have music with no lyric, whatever it is that they've got, they present it to the group.
Yeah.
And the entire group is allowed to give critique and feedback
Ooh.
on what they've written.
Could that be nasty? Could that be
No, it's never nasty. It can never be
constructive?
Nasty. It has to be constructive, supportive.
Taco Bucket, what would you write a song about? If
My God. I'd most likely write about the colonoscopy I just endured.
Well, you might not make it to this. You might,
That's dark.
It was a brutal event for all involved.
Might want
So
to
the
cut back on
theme-
those tacos.
The theme is grief, then.
Yes, it's a song of mourning. Yes,
We've
indeed, and
identified
loss.
the theme. That's good.
you might not make it to Friday afternoon with that Taco Bucket.
No, I would burn out late Friday night, like a star shining above the sea as it sinks into the abyss. Yes, quite.
Taco Bucket, are you a musician yourself?
Oh, I would dare not say that in front of an esteemed guest like this.
Yeah,
But
really.
I've been known to pluck a string or two.
What is happening, Dave?
I think he dipped into the colonoscopy meds.
Are you currently on the meds that they give you for the call? You know, I'm 47. I think
Propofol, that's what it is.
don't I have to do that pretty soon?
Yeah, you do.
It used to be 50 now.
My,
it's
my fellows, I beg
please,
you,
go
I
ahead.
beg you, let us take this seriously. We have an artist on the line.
Yeah, Taco Bucket. I've got a real
Stop.
musician in my studio, and I don't know who you are, but go ahead. You got like 30 seconds, then I got to let you go. Please.
All I do is wish to say that I have heard Jonathan's music. I have seen him live. I have been extremely moved. I have been healed by what I've seen.
All right.
And I wish to put forward some thanks to the man.
Well, there you go.
You're doing it.
Thank you, Mr. Bucket.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I guess thank you for the call.
Godspeed.
Taco
Godspeed,
Bucket.
Charles.
Any last words before we let you go?
Korahi.
Thanks for the call.
Wow. Wow. What an esteemed gentleman.
What a show. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you for enduring, Mr. Taco Bucket. That was something.
Yeah, that was that ranks.
We
up
talked
there
about-
with life experience.
Yeah, I bet you don't see him in Canada very often, do you?
He said he's seen him live. Jonathan, we talked about venues. You've played at the lovable Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
You've played at Cat's Cradle. You've
You've played at the Box Yard because I saw you there just a week or two
Yep,
ago.
4 weeks in a row, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lunchtime.
Talk
show.
about that, because I remember
Well, that
you
was
posted.
fun. So Tess Mangum Okanya, she runs Sonic Pie Productions over in Durham. She does a great job with everything. She books a lot of different stuff, helps organize things over there.
Yeah.
She runs her own production company, and we've been friends for a long time. So she called me. She said, we're doing
Yeah.
this thing at RTP Box Yard. Do you want to do it? She heard that I just quit working with the band. I might be available for some solo stuff. And it was cool. It was a lunchtime gig in RTP in the middle of where there's basically nothing else.
Yeah, just
to
a construction site, basically.
Yeah, so if you want some lunch and you work there, that's the place to
That's the
go.
only place to go, yeah.
So it was cool. I made some new fans and I met some new people.
It was fun, yeah, and the food was good.
And was that Lawrence? Is that the name of the barbecue place?
There was a couple of different places there. We ate at the Korean barbecue. Yeah, it was good.
Man,
I
that
don't
was a
remember what the
barbecue
name
place there.
was.
It was great.
But Jonathan, talk about the difference between playing to a bunch of people that are on their lunch hour versus a bunch of people at 9 p.m. that have had 3 beers.
It's a different environment. So, at lunchtime, I mean, people came and they sat down and they were working on their computers or whatever. So people were kind of quiet, so there was space for the music.
Were you offended by that? The fact that
No,
people
no.
are,
I mean,
okay.
that's what
you understand.
They're living their lives, right?
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing. I'm living my life. They're living their lives. But there's enough space there that the songs can kind of seep into the space and people can enjoy it. And people would get captured and they would come in, they would listen for a few songs and be, hey, this sounds great, I'm going to look you up online. Whereas at the Kraken, it's a party and you're the
Yeah,
host.
right.
It's like, let's party, people. Here we
Yes.
go. Let's have a dance number. Let's,
Right.
you
And
know.
Dave, from your perspective, going to see Jonathan Byrd at noon, what did you think?
Well, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it's very different because I wasn't drinking, I wasn't dancing,
Yeah.
I was eating and chatting with friends, but it was great. I
Live music is live music.
It was live music. I hadn't seen you in a couple of years. You hadn't seen much during the pandemic,
Right.
Haven't seen much since. So it was
Yeah, I
very
just
nice.
played another event that was kind of like that. The Arts Mill.
I saw that.
There was an open house and people were there for the art, but a lot of people, I mean, it's always seated with fans when I play around here. Like, so when I played Box Yard, there'd be 5 or 6 people who were actually fans of my music who made the trip to come. They bring this energy where other people look at them like, oh, they're really into it. Maybe I should listen, and it kind of gets people in when there's a seed of people there already who are into it.
All right.
And that happened tonight, and Katie said, most of the people who were here told me they came out here because you were playing. So
I'm sorry, where
that's
were you
pretty cool.
earlier?
So it's Eno River Arts Mill. It's a refurbished mill. It was a cotton mill.
Yeah.
On the edge of town.
Sounds like North Carolina.
And there's a great charter school there now. The Orange County Arts Council has a studio there.
Nice.
The art was beautiful. The
Nice.
space is beautiful. It was like a little nighttime art fair.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we haven't-
Hillsboro's a cool town, too.
It is a cool town.
Yeah.
There's a Weaver Street Market there.
There is.
Do you know there's a Weaver Street Market in Raleigh? Did you all
That's
know
right,
that?
there is, yeah.
In Raleigh, North Carolina.
I didn't know that.
A Weaver.
It'd be great to buy a house in Hillsborough like 10 years ago.
Or Carborough.
Yeah.
They used to do I think it was a Thursday music thing at the Hillsborough one, like they do here. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. But
Do you have a venue or a town that we would be surprised that you have a big following? Obviously, you're going to do well if you play around here. You're going to do well. I think in Georgia you have a thing. Where do you play that we'd be surprised that you have a nice following?
There's a few places, actually, but Fisher, Texas comes to mind
Why do you think?
because of the people who live there. They do a festival there called Fisher Fest, but they also do sort of house concerts, but it's outdoors under a covered space. They'll have several hundred people out there. This is the only time I've seen, when I was on stage, we were given standing ovations because people liked the song. They just
Yeah.
thought it was a great song, and the whole audience stood up or Johnny played a great solo, and they would just give a standing ovation because of a great guitar solo. They were just so enthusiastic that it was like
That's
it
so
was impossible
cool.
to do
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
wrong. It's like you're just floating
nice.
on
Oh.
stage.
Surreal.
That's like an open air barn, but it's extremely well made, and it has this gamble roof, and it's like playing inside a guitar.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Wood is dry, and the
Yeah.
sound is just so cool in there. Yeah,
you-
Sisters, Oregon is this town kind of close to Bend.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful town, and they do a great festival. And their high school they call it the Americana Project, I think, where they teach the high school students songwriting. So I came in early for this festival,
Oh,
the
very
Sisters
cool.
Folk Festival, and I taught songwriting there. They had a songwriting camp before the festival, and
That's
this
your
beautiful
deal.
weekend festival.
Nice.
And this small community, I've been back to play. I don't know, there can't be more than a few thousand people living in Sisters.
That is so cool.
But I'll play and sell out a show
Nice.
in Sisters, Oregon. Yeah.
That's cool.
I love
Hey, I
it.
know you used to go to Canada quite a bit. Are you still traveling up there, or are you going to again?
I'll
or-
get back as soon as I can, man.
Yeah.
I want to do Grateful Dave's Front Porch Music Series at the farm Is it technically in Chapel Hill or out where you live on out 54?
Okay.
They're building a stage out
It's
there.
probably in rural Alabama.
Steel String Brewery is.
As soon as I saw them building that place, I thought, just put a stage. Go ahead and build a stage.
They're working
Make
on
part
it.
of I could literally ride my bike to the gig.
Grateful Dave's Front Porch Music Series, and I want you to be the first headliner.
That would be awesome.
And just have an awesome event. So we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, we're almost out of time. Gigs coming up that you
Gigs
have.
coming up. I got Okrafolk, June 3rd to the 5th, Okrafolk
nice.
Festival.
Who wouldn't want to go to the
I know.
Okrafolk and see
man.
Jonathan Byrd?
June 11th is Mystic Distillery. Jess Klein's going to be there that day. She's playing, and she's also playing bass in my band on that day. May the 7th, Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina. Jess Klein's going to play bass with me on that one.
Nice.
And then September, doing the Bristol Rhythm and Roots, where I bought this fly jacket.
That is a badass jacket.
And
My wife made fun of me for the jacket I wore tonight.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, man.
She's not.
you know what? You gotta be on the radio. You gotta look good.
That's right.
That's right.
That's what they say.
That's right. Well, Jonathan Byrd, dude, you are a troubadour, a legend. We're huge fans.
Thanks, Chris.
Keep up the good
Dave.
work. Grateful Dave, any final words from you, sir?
Thanks for being here. It's been a real pleasure, and yeah,
And Dave,
look
thank
forward
you.
to hopefully doing something in the fall.
No idea where Deej is. We haven't seen him in a while. He's
Yeah.
just been
Well,
MIA.
you can thank him for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight.
My normal sidekick is Deej. He's MIA, but I got Grateful Dave. I mean, you
He
can't
just
ask
happened
for
to
better.
disappear sometime when he knew I was a
Yeah,
big fan,
Dave,
so.
he might have something to do with it. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
so awesome to have you in studio. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Chris.
And this is Jonathan Byrd and Chris Kokesh.
Thanks,
All right.
John.
Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Have a good night, everybody.
I was an oak tree. It took 1,000 years to grow. I've seen kingdoms come and go. I've seen the losers turn to lords and back again. I held the rebels when they hung them from my limbs. When men of fortune cast their futures on the sea, it's when they came for me. And I was a slave ship under the standard of the cross, a hallelujah holocaust. And half were dead before we reached the other shore. And the captain never saw the coming storm that swept around the Cape and took us by surprise, and only 8 survived. I was a campfire, a pile of driftwood in the sand, and the only comfort in this land. And 8 hungry sailors roasted acorns that they found, and left me burning as they stumbled toward the sound of a church bell ringing out above the ocean's wind. And I was born again. Now I'm an oak tree out along the wild Cape Fear, and there is talk of freedom here. Oh, where is the kingdom that was here before I came? Where have the people gone who only left their names? A revolution's just a circle after all, and every kingdom falls. Now I'm an oak tree. If it takes 1,000 years to grow, I'll see kingdoms come and go. Well, I'll see kingdoms come and go.